So, you want to feel depressed too? Well, I got you covered. If you ain't already know, this anime is called I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. And besides from its goofy name, this anime is probably one of the most saddest shit ever made. Now, I first watched this during my sophomore year of high school, and at the time, I didn't really understand it. So I just called it mid and threw it in the back of my mind. But all of a sudden, I just felt this unique urge to rewatch it again and give it another chance. And so I did, and boy, I cried harder than when Guts watched his girl get fucked. And like I said, I still remember a bit of the plot. I mean, it was only like a 4-year time skip between when I watched it and right now, so it wasn't exactly new to me. First, I want to say, yo, whoever created this, bro, I hope you sweat at night, man. Because damn, this shit was tough to watch, man. My heart was hurting watching them build a relationship up and watch them grow and learn from their mistakes. And what really pissed me off the most is this scene right here. When he was waiting for her to arrive from the hospital to the cafe and he just waits for her. My boy starts smiling, feeling all happy and shit because he's always frowning. But she got him feeling like this though. He even sent her a romantic, heartfelt message, man. He never does that. But he keeps waiting for her for like 6 whole hours. And so he leaves the cafe thinking maybe she's still sick and just got stuck in the hospital. And once he gets home, he's thinking about her, kicking his feet. But then he would hear on the news that a girl from his school was murdered. And he looks up and it was Sakura.
One in the neighborhood found her lying on the street, bleeding from a deep stab wound in her chest.
I hate the riders. I hate the riders. And look, I know she was gonna die. We all knew. It was even shown in the trailer, but not like this though. Come on, man. Why she gotta go like this? Why so sudden? They should have me standing up, man. My eyes couldn't take it anymore, bro. I mean, look at the scene at the murder site, bro. This shit is scary. This is something you'll only see in a horror movie. And she died getting stabbed in the chest and slowly bleeding out to death. Like, damn, you could have made it any less violent? Man, this messed me up, man. I didn't even know how to act after rewatching this. I just sat here in silence. But in a poetic way, she lived as she spoke. Let's take it back to the very beginning, where they first met. Haruki, who is the main protagonist of the story, is at the hospital for an appointment. He will notice a book on the floor, and as the bookaholic he is, he starts reading it. But then he notices it's a diary, and as he's reading it, he realized that this person has pancreatic disease and is slowly dying from it. But then that's where he would meet Sakura, who's the main girl of this story, and she's like,
"So, I guess you read that. I'm slowly dying."
Oh, that's cool. Anyways, I'm off to my appointment.
And with that, she found a spark within him. So she stalked him, found where he worked at, which is at a library, and she applies there and starts trying to get to know him. But as they talk, Haruki asks her why she's spending her time working in a library.
Wouldn't you want to go and do the things you always wanted to do? Like maybe travel the world with your friends, or rekindling relationships?
Do you want to do things before you die too? And yet you're not doing them. You could die from a freak accident tomorrow for all we know. So really, I'm no different from you at all. Sometimes it's the normal everyday things I enjoy the most.
And that's why Sakura feels Haruki completes her, because he makes her feel normal. And she also has a list of things that she wants to do before she dies, kind of contradicting herself a bit. So with that, she guilt trips our boy to help her with the list. Man, I wish something like that would happen to me. And so the first thing to do is eat out at a Korean barbecue restaurant, all you can eat. And this part would explain the title of the movie. It was said back in ancient times, if you had an organ problem, you would eat the same organ part to heal it. Hinting at the title, I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. And she would ask why he doesn't have any friends at the school, because it seems like nobody knows him. Then he starts talking like any other socially awkward teenager. But I'm a tree. But like, no one thinks that about him, or at least no one has said it to him, because he explains it's just all in his head on what other people might think of him. And I can't help but relate to Haruki for a little bit. I'm sure we all felt this way at least once in our lifetime, maybe during school or work or any social gathering. We just self-project on what others might think of us and play like a false narrative in our heads. Maybe this person will think I'm weird because of this and that, or if I do this I might get laughed at. Just small stuff like that. So yeah, it's always fun to relate to loser anime characters. Anyways, Sakura kind of take this as an insult because she wouldn't have invited him to eat out with her if she thought he was a creep. But it didn't matter though, because my boy still got her number at the end of the day. Well, kind of. It was more she got his number, But who cares? A dub is a dub. Next day at school, somehow everyone knew that they was hanging out and word was spreading.
Hey, you hear that creep who was hanging out with Sakura?
Yeah, I hope he wasn't forcing her to hang out with him. What a loser.
Haruki would pick up on this, noticing how everyone's talking bad about him. And even Sakura would be confronted by her friends on why she would pick a loser to hang around with. And with that, Haruki doesn't really want to hang out with her anymore because of the drama. But Sakura keeps on persisting because she doesn't care on what other people think. And so they eat at a cake shop. This is where she learns more about Haruki. And instead of judging him and being like, wow, you're such a sad and miserable person, she listens to him and enjoy his reasoning and time. Which is like, wow, that is very sweet of you. I mean, because like, look, if I was in that position, you know. Anyways, this is where we meet one of the most annoyingest character ever. Her name is Kyoko. And the reason why she's so annoying is because she keeps trying to cockblock Haruki. All because he's essentially a loser trying to date Sakura. Which, I get it where you're coming from. But Kyoko, you gotta stay in your lane. Anyways, they move on to the beach. This scene is one of the most beautiful scenes throughout this entire film. Like this beach segment right here, dude, this looks better than real life, bruh. And here Sakura will explain how he's the only one she can really talk to this about, you know, this whole I'm gonna die soon thing to him, because he's different from everybody. He's the only one who gives her the truth and a normal life. Her doctors would only tell her about the truth because it's their job. And on the other hand, her family would overreact to everything she does and tries to pretend that everything is normal. But it almost feels like being happy with them is just all an act because they're just too sad to be happy knowing that their daughter will die soon. And because of that, she doesn't want to tell her friends they would eventually do the same. So that's why she likes to hang out with him, because it's really fun for her, genuinely. And she even plays with my boy Heartstrings.
I can't wait for summer break and do a bunch of romantic stuff with you, Haruki. Oh, I'm just joking. Don't take everything I say too seriously.
She got my boy blushing, bruh. And with that, they go on vacation on the weekends. They would spend most of the time just doing a bunch of casual stuff, but at the end of the day, they arrive at a fancy motel, and by chance, they get a room with one bed. Listen to me, Haruki. You have 2 aces in your hand now. You cannot fold. As they get up there, she's already scheming on how she gonna make him fold. She brought some alcohol and cards, and you can probably guess where this is gonna go. They play truth or dare. Well, I guess she kind of forces him. She wins a couple of the first rounds and just starts asking some basic truth questions.
Which girl is the prettiest in class? What would you rank me?
But then, when it gets to Haruki, he starts giving her a job interview type of questions. You know, because no one ever picks dares. Until Sakura gets her turn, and she's like,
I ain't even gonna lie. You look like you can pick me up.
You look real strong.
I ain't that strong.
like I said though, my boy never folds. He picks her up and gently put her to bed. Look at her. He got her blushing, bro. But then, as they finish their last round, she gives him a pretty sad truth questions.
Tell me, if I said that I was actually scared of dying, and I mean terrified, what would you do?
And it kind of shows a real side of her because she's always smiling and pretending that the reality of the situation doesn't affect her. Putting on a big smile, but deep down, she fears death quickly chasing her more than anything else. And to be honest, this hurts, man. I know it's not real, I'm just watching pixels on the screen, but stuff like this happens all the time in real life, and sometimes it's not even death that's chasing them, it could be literally anything else that's eating them up inside out, terrified of the reality they're facing, and just putting on a brave face and pretending like it's not there. I guess I'm lucky since I haven't experienced this yet, but I've had family members who gone through something similar, and seeing how Sakura is handling it, especially with all the medicine she takes on a daily, you know, it reminds me back of my grandma when she was still alive. The last couple years of her life, she was very sick and always in pain. And I remember one time, it was just me and my grandma. She had told me to grab something for her, and as I turned my back, I could hear her talk to herself, saying that she wished she could just die already because she was going through so much pain. And hearing that kind of reminds me of what Sakura is saying, although it's a bit different though. Like I said, it hurts to think about stuff like that, but my boy still slipped with her because he just totally avoided the question asked for a dare. But a dub is a dub at the end of the day. The next day, as they come to the end of their trip, this little sausage is calling about where Sakura is at and just being a little pissed about it. And I also forgot to mention they're best friends, so that's why she's upset at Sakura for hanging out with a loser. But as the days pass, he begins to feel pretty bored with his life and even starts waiting for her to message him. My boy finally moving on to the next stage.
My parents are gone. Wanna come over?
Hey, so were we just gonna play games all night?
There's something else I wanted to do before I die. Would you like to know what it is? It's doing something naughty with someone I'm not dating, someone I'm not even in love with. You fit the role perfectly. This is just a hug. And all of the naughty stuff comes next. Really fooled you, didn't I? You weren't saying anything, so it was super easy to keep a straight face during all that. Did it excite you? It was embarrassing, but I'm glad I was able to pull it off. Appropriate thing to do to someone, do you? Then go already!
You know, it's not the worst day I've seen. I remember hearing about some dude getting pecked. So anyways, he goes outside but gets confronted by her ex, who's probably thinking he just got done smashing. And so he's yelling at Haruki, saying stuff like, "What does she see in you, you miserable, depressed loser?" So bam! He gives him a knuckle sandwich right to the cheek or forehead. And she's like, "Oh, I hate you, Takamaru." Starts brushing him away. Then she starts apologizing to Hakuri about the whole, rapey thing that just went on. 2 weeks go by after a bunch of side quests. The reality of the situation starts kicking in because she would stay at the hospital for the next few weeks. When Hakuri visits, they spend time together playing cards. Then he asks her, "What does living mean to you?" Living would mean to her that we should love all the people who love us. It's the most important thing in life. If you're always alone, how can you know you exist? She knows her body still exists because of all the people she came in contact with. And being able to hold someone's hand and say, "I love you" or "I hate you." And it's in other people that shows that we're truly alive through our relationships. And Hakuri truly thanks her for changing his life. Because up to him and Sakura, he always felt sad and miserable. He even lied to his parents about having friends so they wouldn't worry about him. And he's always in his head, self-projecting everything. He thought this was going to be it for the rest of his life. Then he met Sakura, who changed everything for him.
What do you think you're doing to her?
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You get your goddamn ugly ass.
So anyways, they plan on meeting each other again in a couple of days for a special event, if you know what I mean. They sneak out, go to the top of the hospital, and here is where Hakuri would fully express how he feels.
Despite the way I look or act when we hang out, I'm worried about you.
Does that mean you want me to live?
Yes, I do. What is it?
I'm lucky to have someone who cares about me this much. I promise. When I'm going to die, I'll be sure to let you know.
And with that, they enjoyed the fireworks for like 5 whole minutes. I'm pretty sure they use actual live footage here because this looks a bit too real. But as they leave, she makes him a promise that he can bathe with her. That they can go to the beach together. Yay! And so the next couple of weeks, she gets released from the hospital. They make a plan to meet up at the cafe. Man. Looks like we made full circle. So that's why earlier when I said I was pissed off at this scene, it's because how they gonna put us through a beautiful journey like we just went on and be like, "Oh well, shit happens, tough luck." Like, come on. It's like if Luffy dies but the rest of the gang finds the One Piece.
But you
can't do this to me. You know how much I sacrificed? And so after her death, by the way, he skips her funeral. He would visit her mom to show respect and ask for the diary, which is called Living with Dying. Throughout this entire film, Sakura has been writing down all the events on her diary, which only her and Hakuri knew about, and I guess her mom too at the end. And in the diary, Sakura would express how she looked up to Hakuri because she was made up by all the people around her, thinking that she was a nobody without her relations. But Hakuri, on the other hand, was the exact opposite. He didn't need other people around him to be who he is. As she hanged out with him more and more, she noticed that Hakuri never tried to make her his friend or even his girlfriend. It's almost like he just hangs out with her because not for what she could be, but for who she already was. It's like they were almost destined to meet each other the whole time, just how their names complement each other. Haruki meaning spring and Sakura meaning cherry blossom, like how the leaf starts turning pink in the spring.